Facts. Okay, everybody. I want to introduce a new series that I want to bring to everybody. Not a new face, but kind of a new face to this space, we'll say, right? So let me introduce. Not only is he my brother, not only do we go super, super far back, but he's my teammate. We played against each other in high school, played with each other at camps in high school. Our mamas know each other, okay? That's how real this gets. I'm here with the one and only Kris Clark. How you doing today, my
My
brother?
man, I'm good. I'm good. Always good. So even better now, getting to sit here and kick it with my brother all these years later.
It's crazy to think about
20,
that.
20 years
Think about that, right?
since college, since first playing with each other in college, but even way before that. Like
Yeah,
you said,
like
high school is.
it's just nuts to think about how time flies. Number one, and that we ain't got no choice but to get older.
It's gonna
It's
happen.
just gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
But I want to introduce a new little series to the people, right?
Okay.
Not only are you going to be super influential in this space, but the knowledge that I think that not only we both can bring, but the
hmm
knowledge that you can bring because you're still doing it to being almost done doing it. So you're
Okay.
catching all the different eras. So one question I wanted to start out asking that I want people to know that like of some of the stuff we'll be doing is what's like the biggest impact to you when it comes to like the difference within these eras?
The biggest impact, honestly, is just the relentlessness, the dedication. You got some people that at one point in time eat, live, breathe. Now you got some, they just so talented, they get to that point because somebody's making them get to that point.
Facts.
The natural ability to be dedicated and all those things that I know that I had to have to be able to compete, some don't find it and some don't keep it, right? So having passion. Obviously, the goal was to make as much as you can while you can. Now it's literally where it's a job for some guys at 16, right? And more people that is a job for. So it's now the difference for me, the impact is the lack of the OG. I'll say that.
So do you think that that's been a positive thing, or do you think that like it's been kind of like a regressing thing?
Uh,
Especially let's talk about like specifically the NIL and the transfer portal. Like how do you feel about it?
I'm a fan of everybody getting their dollar, right? Actually being a part of helping some people,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it even more
Mm-hmm.
because I do know that, there's only 60 names called for that NBA
Come on
draft,
now.
right?
Yeah.
So if you're able to provide for your family, take a little pressure off mom, pop, auntie, whoever, while you're still technically a student, I'm for that. Now, the downfall of it is that financial literacy. Some guys coming from the projects, getting six figures, not knowing what to do with it, right? And then they do the wrong things, and all right, cool. In 3 years, you graduate. Then now what, right? You're working at Amazon, and you don't know how to actually do that because you've been making six figures.
But one thing I think I've noticed lately is more of these guys, and obviously most people know I'm on the football side a lot
Mm-hmm.
now. Like Dan Morgan, the GM for the Panthers, he loves the NIL stuff because he says that these guys are coming in with financial
Yes.
advisors,
Yes.
PRs,
Mm-hmm.
with people. So I think now, even though the financial literacy side of the athlete is down, the people around
Yeah, the
them have
business,
come.
the
Yeah. So
business
what
is
do you, what you
definitely
think?
so like for me, I'm for everything, but it's like business is gonna forever be business.
Mm-hmm.
In some aspects, that love is kind of mixed in or forgotten, right?
No, that I
So
definitely believe
so
that.
I always feel like if you continue to do what you love, that money gonna find you,
Right.
right?
Right.
If that goal of to play 1 year at Kentucky is your goal, make $1 million and you're done, cool, do that. But I know you don't first pick up a ball thinking I'm gonna just be good enough to play 4 years out of college and then I'm done with it.
Right.
Not everybody.
Right.
Everybody's
Right.
situation
Yeah,
different.
it's just
So
those are the one percenters for
so
sure.
obviously it still comes to the real world reality, right? Like you
Yeah.
just said, the one percenters, right? And there's so many people now that are in your corner.
Yeah.
versus before it was a little bit less. So now you got more ears, more eyes, more mouths to feed than you probably would have seen. So
Yeah. So do you? So I kind of been talking about this to people where I've said, in our day, the athlete was still always a celebrity.
okay,
We just was a celebrity without necessarily the financial backing,
okay,
right? You still had the one percenters though that was getting it slid to them.
right.
So I still look at it the same, but I wonder to you when you look at like the today's athlete, when you talk about like their love of the game, does their love of the game leave because of the money aspect, or is it because of the opportunities outside of the sport, right? Because there's a lot of people like us in general. I remember used to always say, man, you're gonna be the mayor of Utah, right? So it's like
Life of the party.
so many people have the outside
Mm-hmm.
opportunities coming in.
Yeah.
Do you think that's also what kind of damages the love for it?
Right. So for me, that goes back to this that having the right people in your corner. Where, okay, we got here because of that round ball,
Yeah.
the orange thing going in the orange thing.
Yeah.
So cool. If Gatorade want to come in and do something, tell whoever this is over here, go handle that because I got to go work out. You have so many people now worrying about staying on their phone, checking their DM versus getting them 300 threes up, running up and down the floor, getting their cardio going so that they can continue to perform at a high level. So once again, for me, it just becomes perspective. So if you're able to balance all, cool. Most aren't able to balance all. We can go on the highest pedestal. We can use LeBron. He is the machine, but he has so many working parts, right? That isn't by chance. That was by design. Hey, yo, I'm gonna keep doing this. Y'all go to college, come in these same rooms, meet these people. In 10 years, Rich Paul makes a phone call.
Yeah, man.
Finger snap, right? Your Brandon Bostons, all these guys are getting opportunities because this guy had a friend who was already knowing his talent.
Man, think about that for a second though, right? LeBron, best friend that he brought in from high school, is the biggest sport agent
Yeah, man.
in the NBA right now.
Pick up the phone, making moves. Like he's in some sense more influential than some GMs decision wise.
That's the reason why I bring it up.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, right, that's basically LeBron knowing about a trade that's happening.
Well, according to him, he don't know.
He say that, right? And you gotta say that. So
No,
I'm
for
not
sure.
even trying
For
to
sure.
act like
It's
you're
business,
not,
though.
right? Because
It's
it's business at
business.
the end of the day. But I mean, we would be fools to think that
he
he
don't
don't
know nothing.
right.
I mean, but at this point, he probably really doesn't.
Right, because
Rich,
I was thinking
early
that too.
on maybe, but
Yeah.
now Rich is. You got to
He's
think,
handling
man,
his
he's
own
doing it.
business,
So,
yeah,
and once
yeah.
again, we're talking on that highest scale.
Yes.
So you bring that down to a smaller agent who has only 2 players that are in the NBA or MLB, NFL, and they have to make sure this guy stays so locked in, so focused, so they can continue to eat.
You know, with you saying that's actually, I think, a new creation of today's, a new business in today's society, right? And I think it's a space that I think you belong in more than anybody, which is helping these kids, because there's always a space of helping these kids, but
Yeah.
I think it's doing it from a specific point of view, right? As
True.
an agent or an NIL agent, which I know that's kind of the next route that you're trying to go eventually, right? We don't know what you're going to go into yet.
Yeah.
But one of the things that you could eventually go into, I think you would be really good for because you're hands-on, right?
Yeah.
One of the agents that I know, Stan Dobar, he played at Miami, he played tight end at Miami.
Okay.
But right now he's also being an agent and brokering some deals for some NFL players.
Okay.
And I just think that's the perfect route.
Yeah, so-
Because who else knows better than you?
Yeah. So, I mean, quiet is kept. I am helping an agent right now, doing some consulting, putting guys in position as far as the professional ranks, but it'll trickle down to the college and things like that. But it's just because I feel like that's my duty,
Yeah.
due diligence, give
Yeah.
back to the game. I've been around it long enough now.
Yeah.
I played at all the levels.
Yeah.
At this point, coaches that were teammates are coaches that are making decisions for the next generation.
Come on
So, I don't want to leave that as like something that's just out there, right? I want to make sure it happens because somebody did it for me, whether I knew it or not, right? Your name gets passed around, that word of mouth still matters. But back to what we were originally talking about in the sense of you have to go out here and do the work.
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh, yeah, well, he got me. It's like, no, go to the gym at 6 a.m. like you've been doing.
Yeah.
That's how I found you.
Yeah.
So I can't just say, okay, it's over. Just because we got you a deal and you signed to Georgia Tech or whatever it may be. So it's important, man. All things that have always been important are even more important now. Because you can get somebody come out of left wing and say they got your best interests at heart, and they probably really don't.
That's something. Now, we're gonna wrap this one up because
Okay.
we're gonna bring him more of these, right?
Yep.
And then I also want to bring them where they get to really know you, right? So
Okay.
we're gonna do like a full out interview where they really get to know and our story because we're so connected,
Very true.
but yet so different. And so like we've only really played with each other a year, but we've known each other so long. We know all the same people and we've been interacted in the same circles for so long. It's crazy to even think, even to this day, with people that I'm just meeting, like a Spoon, right? Shout out to Spoon, who you met
Last summer when I first moved here.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's just wild on how our lives have always kind of intertwined
Where they
ever
come
since
back,
we first met.
I tell people all the time, that's not by chance. That come from you staying dedicated
Yeah.
to a grind,
Yeah.
and there's years passing, and then that's just life for me.
Yeah.
Right? It's not accident. Okay, cool. You didn't make the NBA, but you put in so much work that you meet people that you're going to meet on that next level anyway.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I don't know if you didn't make the NBA, right? Like I know why you say that, right? Especially
Yeah.
from our point of views, because we look at it and say, well, we didn't get to do what Jalen Brunson got to do. No.
sure.
But you had a very I remember not only did I get to watch you play after I was done, when I watched you play at the game of Utah, when Utah State played Utah, even though we lost that doggone game. But
did.
I was there for that. I also got to see you play in the G League, which was
The
the
D-League.
D League.
Yeah.
Because you played with a couple of the teams in the D League, didn't you, or was it just with the Salt
Well,
Lake team?
That first year, what were they called? Utah Flash.
Yeah.
Utah Flash that first time around, and then some years later played with the Knicks organization.
Right, which I don't. In our era, brother, D League, the G League, that was not something that people necessarily like
True.
did. It was not. It was still. I think it was invented in 1997 or 98, one or the other.
Yeah.
But I know when I was coming out, I never really heard of that. Right.
Yeah.
Not especially not that it was something that we could actually play in. To taking it to that, playing with the Knicks, you know all the players, you know the what we call the true legends.
Very true.
Right, the ones that didn't get to win no championship, but
They
are
were-
still looked upon as true legends. Right?
Once a Knick, always a Knick.
Nah, you just posted a
generation, yeah.
picture the other day with who was it?
Ray.
With Ray.
Yeah.
Sure was.
That's my man.
It sure
from
was.
From Lil Lotta, Ray Felton. But yeah, it's
North Carolina
I tell people, man, after they won that championship, I've walked those hallways of Terrytown.
Yes.
That curse is gone now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I see what you're saying, but it's like, once again, man, that was the ultimate.
Yeah.
Getting them 3 letters stamped to your name, you get as close as you can, you put in the effort, cool, it don't work out.
That's why I like the NFL.
Hey, man.
And it's funny because you always bring me back to things, and because you know me, really better than most people, but you always bring me back to my thinking. You always say, man, you've always liked football, which is true, right?
Very
but
true.
one reason why I've always liked football is just the pure numbers.
Yeah.
You look at the NBA draft, it's what, 57, 60 folks, bro. That's it. There's
Yeah.
nobody else to get to go in.
Yeah.
At least in the NFL, I get 267 picks. Plus, the NFL is made up of 70 to 75% undrafted players.
That's true.
Where the NBA,
Numbers is shut with 450, something like that.
if you can find an undrafted player, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
those
yeah.
things don't last and they don't come. So I just look at it and I go, as much as I was a basketball player, our life was basketball, I just look at how unfair as a basketball player's life really is. We spend our
Yeah.
whole life training, spend our whole life trying to be this person, that person.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike football, our face is out there,
Very true.
right? It's like some
More
people,
marketable for sure.
and it creates a bigger, let's just call it depression thing, right? Because
Okay.
now it's my face out there.
Yeah.
You're looking like, dang, bro, you ain't doing this no more. One thing that made me change my name, right? As far as when I say change my name, you call me Darrell.
Okay.
Nobody will call me that unless you know me
Yo,
from basketball,
Fonzy.
right? They know me from Fonzie because I got tired of people
Fonzy.
being like, man, what happened? Man, what happened?
Mm.
Man, I got my degree. I got 2 of them, matter of fact.
So
Not to
that's
mention,
a
I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do
yeah,
this, I
yeah,
could do
yeah.
this. So I always wanted to show people I was more than an athlete.
That's a whole nother, I never thought about it from that perspective.
Yeah, so it's you just never know
Yeah.
how somebody's necessarily taking it, which is why I liked football.
Mm.
Because with football, even though it's a lot of football players that don't make it, I'm dealing with a couple of players that we had where they did the NFL or they did the draft and they didn't get drafted, right? So they're going undrafted, and it's like, but they're still getting to live out their
Right.
dream.
Right.
Now, granted, we could say we can go overseas like you did, right? Which is what I'm always trying to stress to people.
Other options out there.
That they got to hear your route. Like I think
Yeah.
your story is just as big as even a OJ Harrison, right? Who is ultra successful right now selling cars and being a financial guy in the car industry.
Right.
So I think these stories have to be told because number one, bruh, in basketball you ain't gonna make it.
And even if you do, it's not guaranteed to last as long as you think.
It just ain't. And I just look at that and I say, it's 60 people. Like, it's just, I just don't, the numbers are so small. And I also look at it like, that don't mean you was better than me.
No, and it doesn't mean you're going to actually make that roster.
Come
either.
on, man.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. So you're right, and the unfairness, but I always draw back to just basketball being life, right?
Yeah.
Where you have adversity in
Yeah.
between these four lines, you got it outside.
Yeah.
Family, got it in these 4 lines, got it outside. Just simple teamwork,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You got to deal with other people in life. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if you don't make the NBA, cool, but did you learn from your
Yeah.
experiences all the way up until that point?
Yeah.
So now, like you said, I've never thought of it in that way. What happened?
Yeah.
I've heard this,
Yeah.
but I never had to think because I've never been asked that. And it's also when someone is asking you what happened, he's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And they don't even know what it's because you didn't make the NBA.
Yes.
So it's
Or
like-
you're not still playing. Because
Right, yeah.
like even for you, like that's why I look at you and I'm like, bro, I look at your career and I'm overjoyed, right? Because
Yeah.
this long playing basketball, bro, you bought a house off basketball.
Yeah.
Bro, you've been able to start a family off basketball.
Yeah.
Like this is a child's game. You know what I mean? Now, granted, it's
For
become
sure.
so much bigger than that, so much more than
Nah,
that.
but it still is, man.
It's
It
a
still is.
child's game, man.
And it's also like even what you're saying that I don't look at it like that all the time, but
Yeah.
I have to go back and say that to
Yeah.
myself because it is a blessing. Even like I said, I've had some gaps in my resume. It's not been long standing perfect, but to still continuously come into the empty gym, run when ain't nobody
Come
tell me
on,
to
man.
run, go lift when I don't have to. I often even think to myself like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's also it's like you're doing what you know works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even when it's time for me to be completely done,
Yeah.
I know I'm still gonna be around this game.
Man, listen, if you ever need somebody just to tell you how big of and how good of a job you did in life because you did it through basketball, all you gotta do is call your boy, man.
Appreciate
Because
that, dog.
I promise you, dog, like for one, we've always stayed in contact,
Mm-hmm.
number one. And we've always been the best of friends, number
Right,
one. But
right.
at the same time, I mean, when we was in school, I was way more outside. We're gonna bring y'all more of these, okay? I'm gonna make sure that he get more on camera, get this knowledge out. As you can hear, this man's got knowledge after knowledge after knowledge. Kris, anything before we get off camera?
Nah, you know, once again, Mr. Outside is forcing me to be outside. So I guess finally life slowing down for me. I got time. I don't know how much time, but I got time.
This is about to be fire. I'm telling you, it's gonna be tons of information. Sport guys, all of athletes. I'm telling you, make sure. Y'all need NIL deals. Y'all need somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going, just ain't too much. All right? We tuning back in. Fonzy, Kris Clark, we're in the building. Megan behind the camera. We out.
Oi, FFTV.